This look like a genius to you? Peep into him, faggot, maybe. You get an eye full of him, weren't you, light bulb? You want to see what a real man looks like? You think you can take me, freak show? Go for it. Meantime, I keep the hat. And you think you're man enough to get it back, you take your best shot.
My pale skin became the reason I was bullied. Ever since I left the basement, this prejudice has followed me. I didn't tolerate the bully's harassment. Using my ability to read the thoughts of anything, I revealed the deepest, most vulnerable secret buried in his heart. But my defiance enraged him. He dragged me outside, tore my clothes, and pushed me into a puddle of water. When they pulled me out of the water, I could no longer control the anger inside me. Just then, lightning filled the sky, energy surging through my body. Everyone was struck down to the ground. When I looked at the bully, his heart had stopped beating. I never meant to hurt anyone. I knelt beside him and used the electric current within me to perform defibrillation. Through my efforts, he began breathing again. I left the shelter and returned to the basement where I had lived for 18 years. Painful memories flooded my mind. Which on the day I was born, my father was rushing my mother to the hospital when she was struck by lightning on the way. Before she passed away, she gave birth to me. The doctor told my father about my condition. I was born with albinism. My father followed the doctor into the room, took one look at me, and refused to accept me as his son. I could feel his emotions, and my crying grew louder. In the end, my father chose to abandon me. Later, my grandfather took me in, afraid of gossip from outsiders. He hid me in the basement until the day he passed away. The town sheriff received a call from a neighbor. Because I refused to interact with anyone, the sheriff brought Jesse, an expert from the shelter. They worried that after all these years in isolation, I might have become a monster. They cautiously entered the basement and found me curled up in a corner. When I stepped out of the darkness, their eyes were filled with shock. Jesse asked me if I understood what death was. I looked up, my eyes already filled with tears. Her presence soothed my lonely heart. Later, she took me to the shelter she managed, a place for children like me who had lost all their family. When I got out of the car, the children stared at me as if I were a monster.
What the hell is that?
Everyone was prejudiced against me. My arrival made me their target. The bully approached me. He told me to balance a spoon on my nose, mocking me for their amusement. I took the spoon from him. They thought I was yielding to the bullying, watching me with scorn. I didn't say a word, just kept channeling my energy into the spoon until it stood upright on its own. Then, all the spoons flew into the air. They froze in disbelief. I controlled the last spoon, sending all the others flying. My defiance humiliated the bully. He glared at me with pure hatred. Later, to prevent further conflict between me and the bully, Jesse sent me to school. The strange looks there were even more intense. I thought my life would always be filled with malice, until Lindsay appeared. The way she looked at me was filled with tenderness. It was the first time I had ever felt kindness. In class, the teacher explained the principles of electricity, but when I saw the electric currents, I couldn't stop trembling. Lindsay noticed something was wrong. The next moment, a beam of light struck me, and I collapsed unconscious. After the police were alerted about the accident, they came to the hospital to investigate, but I had already slipped away quietly. I walked down an unfamiliar street, not realizing it was Lindsay's home. When I saw her, I froze in surprise. I asked her for directions to the interstate. She patiently guided me and showed genuine concern.
They catch boys running away from Central. I hear they get solitary. You better hurry. Hey, stay away from those electrical outlets, okay?
She was the first person who truly cared about me. I followed the direction Lindsay